do daylight savings. So that's probably it. I don't know for sure. All I know is we have a long weekend, and I'm happy about that. Let's zoom in. As you can see, we have opals. I've decided to do some things that are a little bit special. Got this guy here. This is a giant chunk of allegedly knobby opal. I'm not really believing the whole knobby opal story there, but we've got this piece of seam opal we'll cut open as well. And then we'll get into some of the really nice, pretty colourful stuff. Of course, I picked the one that's not very pretty or colourful, and I spill everything on myself. So, you know, everything's going quite well at the moment, as you can see. Moving this one down, moving these over. Right. Now, moving on from that absolutely tragic event, we've got this one. There's just a little bit of colour here. This guy here's got wall-to-wall colour. Last time we tried one of these guys, it was an absolute dismal failure. I think I've still got stone sitting around somewhere. Here it is. It wasn't a dismal failure, it was just a failure-esque because it was too thin. So we've got that, and now I've got my jeans feel terrible now. Okay, so I've got this. I don't think I'll use that one. I've got myself a whole stack of opals, and I'm continually finding the ones I'm probably not going to cut. These ones I'm going to do a bit of a risk with, or this one here especially. We'll do some of the risky ones first up. Now, there's a bit of colour at the top here that just happens every now and then, and I've been trying to figure out the circumstances at which the colour arrives, and I don't know. Is it happening on your... Well, you never know. So that one will be interesting. Or maybe not interesting. But if it's not interesting, it'll be interesting because interesting. Okay, hang on a second, just checking for the colour here. This one must have had colour earlier on. Ah, yeah, I see it. Alright. So here, you're not going to see the colour, but I'm showing it to you anyway. Meant to be. Which one is the meant to be? This one here. Oh, no, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that one. It's not meant to be, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, for those people who don't understand, meant to be is an interesting opal to cut. It's very good opal, but it's very hard to deal with. So this one is not meant to be. This one is just it's actually shell opal from Lightning Ridge, from Cooper Pedy. And it's probably really, really thin, and that's the reason why it's going to be like that. Opal Guy was right. But that's not of any surprise to anybody who knows the Opal Guy. Alright, let me see. This one here, I spotted some... Yeah, pretty much. Oh, the colourful non-facing. Well, you described quite a few of them. That one doesn't face very easily, but it's got colour there. This one has got colour right on the top and colour on the sides. I'm going to cut in the sides and see what happens. This one's got pink, and it's got a slight amount of colour. I'm just going to keep going until I find a pink one which works, basically. This one's got a whole stack of greens in it. This one I think's got some colours in the side, yeah, just in the side there. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm also going to go in and here's a mixed bag. This guy, I don't know what's going to happen with that one. Might start with that one actually. Also, we've got some knobby opal. I'm going to go and find some more knobby opal. I'm not going to walk away and find it because I've got just sitting around here in my knobby opal I've found drawer. So I'll get probably not all of the knobbies that I've got here, but we'll get one or two at least. Come on, tell me what you got. Alrighty. Oh, we'll cut this one, I reckon. I reckon this one's going to be cool. Let me have a quick look at it. Maybe not. I can't see any colour in you, I'm not going to cut you. But not as much as I was expecting. Alright, we'll leave that. Okay, so I've got these 3 opals here. They are knobbies. This one is a nipped knobby. What I mean by nipped knobby is one that opal cutter has come along and snipped into to see if there was any useful colour in it. This one is just a sandy. Just going to have a quick look and see if there's any evidence of colour in it. None whatsoever. And this one here is just a... I think this one was nipped, but it was also sitting in amongst a lot of muck. That is a knobby, believe it or not. But I'd understand if you said, I don't believe you, because I barely believe myself. Alright, so we've got those guys. And we've got all the other opals. So what I might do... Which one did I say I was going to start with? This one. Right. We'll start with this one, and then we'll move on to this guy, because this one I find interesting, basically. Dropped the one that I wanted to start with. Excellent. I like it when I make it very hard for myself. There we go. Whoop. Come on. Right. Where I hope I didn't break it. No, didn't break it, which is good. While I'm down here, I'm just looking at all the other opals that I missed in the night. Yeah, look at that one. That's a nice one. Oh, that's a nice one. Nothing like a few good floor opals. Having a look at you. Yeah, you're worth it. Okay, we'll cut this one. This one here is an off cut from yesterday. I'll show it to you quickly. We might consider cutting that one, but it'll be alright. And this one, I think, is just a piece of black potch, which is just being flung around by some of the birds. Right. Moving on, let's get this show on the road. We're going to have to get a piece of timber to block the camera in a minute, because the sunlight is starting to stream in, and that will make everything harder to do. It'll ruin the camera. Okay. If you remember what I was talking about yesterday, I'm not expecting anyone to remember, but I was talking about cut early is a good option. This time around, not as good an option, because there's a crack which stops. So I'm going to just carve into this and see when the crack stops. Might be worth actually cutting into that crack anyway. Having said, yeah, I said, you know, sometimes you can ignore that advice, and I'm just going to go, or I'm going to cut it. Okay. So the blade caught some of the opal there and flung it back. Bit temperamental, this one. Opal guy, you're free to say this one is like Minterby stone. Sitting there being very temperamental. Just moving these over out of the line of fire. I feel like it cut itself into 3 pieces, but I've only collected 2 of them. Hang on, is this one? No, alright, I've only got the 2 bits. We'll find out what's going on. So, snap on it one probably. Yeah, that one's not worth moving on with. So, just in with this. because it had so many pockets and divots sitting in there, there was plenty to catch the blade. That's why we got all that excitement earlier on. Hoping for a different kind of excitement with this one because it's looking pretty gnarly. I'm actually going to do a crossface cut, basically because I'm carving too much material away anyway. That's all I'll have left. But basically you're going to see it, I suppose the geologist might refer to this as upward fining, which is when the particle sizes change as you go up the profile. And because an opal sphere could be considered a particle, I reckon we could refer to this as upward fining. Although, obviously, the mechanism that causes upward fining in typical geological settings probably is not the same one. In a riverbank, upward fining happens just because of meander bends. Meanders turn into billabongs or oxbow lakes, as they might be called in the United States. And that means that the energy of the water is a bit different every time. So you get different levels of deposition of the sand, and that's called upward fining if you find it in geological ever sequence. And you know for a fact that that's evidence that your profile you're looking at comes from meander bend. So there's sand right in the middle of that, very, very inconveniently placed. I'm just going to place this here and going to pretend that sand doesn't exist and drop it up as a tiny, tiny opal. Now that's unbelievably small, but it's a win, sort of. First win of the day. Let's do this sandy knobby. I've been curious quite some time. I have left this knobby alone for probably 6 months just to get the time to do it with you, basically. Words, what are they? Here we go. So far so bad. Doesn't look like much is going on. I'm just trying to... The thing about this knobby is that it is sort of sand, but it's more white cap than sand really. So it seems that the white cap has happened around the outside, which tells me this knobby is not a standard knobby. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, who knows? I think non-standard things are cool because I actually look out for unusual stuff when I'm doing my rough. If I see something unusual, I'll cut it open and see what it is. And you can get rewarded for doing stuff like that. Right, well, it's interesting inside. There's a lot of clear opal. So I'm just going to get the other side sorted out. Now I'm going to spin it. So this is not exactly sand. You can call it sand if you like, but it's more just silicon, really. I'd say it's probably just white opal. Either that or maybe it's silk. Yeah, I could be convinced you can call it silk because it has that kind of slimy, silty texture as you cut it. Now this opal, I like it, but I don't think in its current state it is going to be particularly valuable. Got sand in the middle, at the moment anyway, or white in the middle, white potch, and it's got just this clear layer that I'm currently going through. Now the cool thing about the clear layer is that at any time that clear layer could turn into something spectacular, but it doesn't look like it's doing so. So, oh well. Basically, until something spectacular happens, we're going through a glorified blade blunting exercise. I will cut that piece off. Ladies and gentlemen, I declare that disappointing. But I'm just going to carve around the sides and just see if there's anything even remotely colourful. Got nothing. Alright. Got one more knobby to do? I think we do. I've been very curious about this. This is probably less knobby and more hard pan. And if it's more hard pan, it might even stop. Right, this is called Iron Band. It is absolutely rock solid. To give you an idea, I've only just changed the blade and now I'm going to have to change it again after this sesh, because this is just going to be death to my blade. The reason why I'm persisting with this stuff is that it can yield some kind of weird purple matrixy colour, which I find fascinating. Have a look at you. We've done on that side. I'm just going to smooth it off whilst I'm here. May as well. I've already destroyed the blade. Well, that's correct. I think I've told this story before, that when I was in the United States, someone said to me, "Why do you have Christmas in the summertime? We're not..." Well, they said, is it true? Do you have Christmas in the summertime, not the winter? I said, yep. And they said, well, why don't you move it to December like everyone else? Really, it wasn't worth it. And when you're confronted sometimes with something like that, you just go, no, whatever. That was in Nebraska, and Nebraskans are nice people, so you don't want to belittle them. Right, so that's just Iron Band. If you're after the real reason why that happened, it's just because of the Earth is round, and when it's summer in one hemisphere, it's winter in the other. And that's because the pitch of the Earth tilts as it orbits the Sun. So one hemisphere is closer at one particular part of the orbit, another hemisphere is closer to another. Now the reason why I'm persisting here is I noticed some colour just on the end here, the bit that I'm cutting. Now see if that has obliterated all hope. Looks like it has. Yay. I will go into it a little bit more. One thing I know about these iron bandy opals is that they tend to have a bit of surface colour, and if you go through that surface colour, no more colour. Seeing the colours return. Okay, we're doing the same thing. We're moving from iron band to a kind of a whitish opal. But because it's iron band, if I try and grind through the stone, it'll take too long. It will indeed be Christmas by the time I'm finished. Let's try that again. I'm just going to continue to cut chunks off until we've got no chunks left to cut. Before I fall my blame down, sadly, is in the realm of distinct possibility. We got to the opal. Yay! And there's just a little bit of colour on this side too. So, hooray for us, we've got into some colour. I might make an opal of it and stick it into the other jar of all the matrix stuff. See if it can do something fantastic. So I'm just checking for colour as I go, because I might as well. I think you're right. There was a flash of pink for a little while. I'll put that over there just in case it, behaves itself. It won't. What I'll do is I'll cut. There's a score that I can cut along, and we'll see what happens there. By the way, hello J is for Genius. Actually, I should officially welcome Opal Guy to the forum as well. And our friend the Minion as well, I suppose. Who are you? You are Ubi's cousins. Yeah. Okay, the blue you're looking at is kind of greyish. That's very typical of Lightning Ridge, but it's not actually precious. But I'm cutting through it in the hope that I will find something. But this is just an exploration, really, before we get into some more interesting stuff. Right, what happened here? Okay, so it's the story of our life here. This has got some opal that's trying to become opal. There's just this little bit of red that's nearly red. That's the best way I could describe it. What I'm doing is I'm giving it a nice smooth edge just to give it the best chance possible. We'll see what it looks like now. Just for a brief microsecond. Oh my god. Okay, there's colour in it. It's really, really faint though. So bear with me. A lot of the time these colours that are really faint, they fade into nothing, or they're just not good enough to be regarded as good opal, so sometimes they're not worth their while. But I like just getting in there and testing these, because the statistician in me knows that most people have not empirically tested anything, so we're just working on groupthink, which is not necessarily the thing we should be working on. So, very interesting. There's just the tiniest flash of red in the corner. At the moment, it's only enough to be interested in. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, because it's very likely to not have anything important in here. But it's good to have something. Come to think of it, it's good to get a good stone out of this kind of material, because it's worth destroying your equipment for then. Because this is not exactly kind to my blades. So time for some faceting and some checking. So it's just irritating. It's not getting particularly bright. It's just sitting there and threatening to be colourful without actually being colourful. But like I say, a lot of the time, if it wasn't for stuff like this, then opal wouldn't be very much money, because you just cut open an opal. Look, here's the colourful bright stuff. What do you do? You've got to really work hard for the colourful bright stuff, so that makes the opal valuable. It makes this whole hobby worth doing. Oh, I was cleaning fossils earlier on today, believe it or not. Should have put it on a live stream, shouldn't I? But I'll bet you the rockhound is better at it than I am, because, well, I don't know, it's practiced. Yeah, I'm stopping with this. There is some kind of colour in there, but it's just ridiculous trying to get it. I'm going to give this one a bit more time, and we'll see what happens. And yes, Jay, there is wind here as well. You probably can hear it. probably what prompted you to say what you said. Right, let's cut in along this piece. Not looking particularly promising, this piece of opal. That's okay. One thing it is doing is it's demonstrating what these Lightning Ridge knobby style opals do. It is a knobby because it's got that that black spot in the middle. More a dark spot than a black spot. And just to confuse the matter, Seam Opal does this as well, but that's because it's an accumulation of knobbies. Holding out on me, are you? Okay. You do that. Right. Still checking. Still nothing. Okay, so this is the last hurrah of this piece. Do not worry, but whoa, there it goes. Now that is interesting. That tells me that it is precious. There's another crack in it too. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm done with that. Right. We'll do this one first. There's two places to cut it, along the sand line and along the crack line. So, crack first. Spiral the cut, as I sometimes am wont to do. Come on. People watching, guys. Come on. Right. That's good. That kind of predicts what we need to do next. I'll just smooth this off. Is that the magpie? For those who haven't been paying attention, the magpie has been showing up every day ever since I showed it some kindness, and that's not too much of a surprise, I suppose. Pardon me, from cutting along the sand. This is going to be the first of the precious opal portions. I'll show you in a second. Going to like this. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah, getting good. So I'll show you what I've got so far. You see, this is just the off-cut. And you can see just a little bit of colour gleaming away. If he's got any Cooper Pedy opal, he's got a pretty big fossil collection, because most of Cooper Pedy is fossil. Anywhere on the coast of Australia is Carboniferous haven, or Devonian really. So you get an awful lot of plant fossils and a lot of insects. I haven't gotten any insects myself, I've just gotten the same species over and over and again. Glossoptera, or Glossoptera, Glossopterus. Really don't mind what you call it. And it's not a bad fossil in its own right, but you know, getting over 100 of them does get a little bit boring. I can show you some of the stuff I've been up to with them though, because I've been preserving them to mount them. I found out that ordinary PVC glue is a pretty good thing to use. Now, as far as a scientific specimen is concerned, no, because it gives it too much gloss. But for a conversation piece on your dining room table, with a nice polished piece of wood as a stand, maybe. Nice opal, there's a crack right in the middle of it. I'll see if that crack goes away. But if not, yeah, I nearly got rid of the opal with a crack. So there, I'll keep that as the first opal of the day, but it's not particularly good. That goes in the opal jar. So let's have a look at the rest of this thing. We've got several options on where to go. I'll just use the other half of this. That section had surprisingly good colour. I was not actually prepared to see colour that good in that stone. So basically that bodes well for the rest of the piece. Now there's blue on the right hand side of this crack. I'm going to have to go through the crack though. Leave that. Get the sand out of the rest of it. And I'm going to have to put it in the stone and see what's going on with it. Rightio, this is getting tense because the colour band is in the middle between all of this sand and stuff. So, well, found a bone in the Texas coast. Yeah, well, you see, you get T-Rexes, opal guy. We have plesiosaurs in the opal fields, which is nice, but they're not really dinosaurs. You get T-Rexes. I think you've got pretty much the world's only population of Triceratops, I think. I think a few have been found in other continents now, but it used to be. There's precious opal here somewhere. Just looking for it. All right, on this side here, on the left-hand side, or what? Probably right, because you know how videos go, they reverse when they head over the interweb. Who knows why? Anyway, there's a little bit of sparkle there. I'm hoping to produce more sparkle. What have we got? Just a little bit more colour. Got to straighten this out. You'll probably end up with a bit of colour that way too. Next item of business is just to make it into a nice shape. Once we've gotten rid of webbing, cracks, dinosaur bones, etc. Okay, this side is the side to do. I'll show you in a second. In the end, I think this is going to be a pretty decent stone. Just because it faces up quick in the end. Okay, which side's got the colour? This side, right. Let's go for it. Okay, well the colour's starting to come through, but only very slightly, so maybe this is another doping job. But it's quite nice. I'll show it to you in a sec. Bit of a crack there. Honestly, can never take a trick with these things. Oh. What's that done to it? Yeah, it'll have to be polished up, but we've got a little bit of colour here. Now, that's okay, because this actually isn't the colourful side. I wonder if you can even see it. That's not particularly good opal. I'm going to put that into the dop jar to be done at some later stage. 200 to 500 working days. Right, got that from a some car repair guy in the deep south. Goes picks up spare cars that are just lying in the swamp somewhere. Gotta take this wood off those rats and stop holding hands. Great line, I've said that before. But the other thing is, I'll put the stuff in there and we'll have to wait 5 to 7 working days for it to all go through. I don't think you need people to rate my southern accent. I know it's terrible. I mean, at times my Australian accent's terrible. Okay, that's interesting. Look at this. Did not expect that. Just looking at it, trying to figure out what on earth it is. It looks like sandy silt marine deposits, I suppose, but that's not great a description. Alright, on with the show. Let's see what we've got. So it doesn't seem to affect its ability to produce opal. As a matter of fact, it might increase it, because I can see some nice reds and stuff. Getting rid of that because I don't think I can use it. But this piece here is just winking away at me like a flight attendant with grit in her eye. If you've seen that stupid ad. Yeah, trying to get rid of that black. Okay, so this is cracked the whole way through. So I'll just get the opal out. You can see that, and I'm not going to spend too much effort because it's going to be too hard to get that out. And don't fret, there's some nice opal in here. I'll zoom in so you can see, but there's just too much cracking it. Yep, I literally snapped it with my fingers. That's not what they mean when they say snap your fingers. Let me see. Got one more shot with this. I am going to just do the face of it, see what the face looks like. Hopefully there are no cracks in the face. That's all I want. If there's no cracks in the face, I'd be tempted to just instantly cleave it off. But it becomes interesting here because that black stuff is the equivalent of black opal, really. So if we get any colour, that black sand at the back is going to help to improve it, enhance it. So let's have a look where the sand happens to be. we're up to where the opal happens to be. So there's a crack in here. Whoop, there's a crack in here, zooming in. I'm going to cut along that crack because I don't think there's any point to keeping that. What's happened tonight? I think the wind has been playing havoc. Here we go. Give me a second. Now we're in the sun so you can actually see what's going on. In the sun I feel as one. In the sun, in the sun. Mary. Apparently her name is Mary. There you go. So, not getting much colour out of this. That's not as fun as when there is colour in it, I have to confess. But don't you worry, we'll get something. As a matter of fact, what I might do is I might quickly give up on this opal so that we can quickly look at some of these other opals under the sunlight conditions so you can get a good look at them. Very quickly carve this one into something. Wow. So the green's just on that face there. The moment I cut the potch off, we had nothing left. That was weird. Alright. Alright, so there we are. Nice little bit of colour there. Cut that off. Where did you go? Always the piece that you want to cut goes into the bowels of the machine. Not that piece. Where are you? Is that you? No, that's not you. Is that you? Nope. Oh well. Looks like I'm getting another piece. This one. What are you going to do? Seems like we're giving all of the opals a magic trick to do today. Some kind of disappearing act. Hopefully if I just gently take this skin off here, we'll get a lot of that rounded colour. Because it's a kernel, this guy. And because you're a colonel, I outrank you. I'm a general. Alright, so that wasn't fun. Could come up with an English general's name. General Belvedere Longbottom, I have, yes. Over the top. So just looking at the opal that we've got, I think we're better off just using the kernel we've got rather than hunting for it on the other side of the opal. We'll find out if that is a sensible course of action in due course. I'm just carving it to size now. Ordinarily I'd be reasonably confident that I'll get this into a nice opal, but everything else has gone against me today, so Anyone's guess. Thought I'd found it, hadn't found it. So every day before I do my opal shows, I actually wipe down everything and try and get rid of as much opal as possible, because the clean bench means that you can find that opal you've dropped. But if you do 3 opals and then suddenly you drop one after that, well, that's it. Game over. Pulling up to the sunlight, which has kind of shifted its position. I feel like that monkey from The Lion King. That gives you an idea of what I was doing. Sure, it moves us all. What? Oh yeah, spiral shark eggs. Yeah, they're quite interesting. Sharks being mighty interesting critters. What I might have to do is cut it there, and then let's try and get it like so. I was right to be dubious. In the end, it's just that kernel that was really showing any kind of promise whatsoever. So, I'm just angling the kernel down a bit. So, regardless, this is a win. But you can't win them all, so it's important. So I'll put that on the chopstick before I destroy it. But there you go, nice little piece of colour. Putting that on the priority queue, finally something that even looked half decent. This one, in ordinary circumstances, should be relatively easy to extract the opal from, but you know, today's been an interesting, relatively hard day, so who knows? There we go. That's the back done. What's the front going to do? I'm assuming that this is going to be the front. Might have to make the back what we just done. The back, the front. I know what I was saying, even though, quite frankly, it was just like words were going out. Like the honk of a trumpet. Yeah, that's alright, that one. There you go, nice. He made a little bit of a dome for it. That's right, you know what it's like to be a nice opal, don't you? Good on ya. Good on you, sport. Good on you, champion. Got my nail. Those of you who've been on this before, you do know that The blade is not a risk to me, not unless I strike it with my nail, which is what I just did. I suppose one of these days you're going to get to see what happens when a Dremel tears a fingernail off a person. But I gradually learned that this thing is relatively safe. Famous last words, of course. There we go. Nice little stone. That one can go in the priority queue too. Woohoo! 2 in a row. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Bump, bump, bump. Things are looking up. Come on. Dry hands and try and get this thing to behave. There we go. Whoop. Behaved a bit too much. Oh, there we go. So I'm doing the back of this one first because there's just that that fish skin pattern on here you can't see yet, but I think you'll find that it's going to look quite lovely. You can say shark egg skin if you want. Mother of pearl. I don't think that sand travels too far. I think I'm going to have to just do a few little trims. Glad I did that. Or sand just going the whole way through it. Just as a suspicion that the sand was going to continue, I've cut that piece off. Now it probably wasn't going to, but the way the day's been going, I wasn't prepared to take any risks. Okay. There's colour here, not much, but there's colour. Well, there is plenty of colour, sort of. It's just as hard to drag it out of the cameras. I'm confident enough really with the colour to prioritise the polish, see what it does. I think this will be quite a good one. A bit small thanks to the hatchet job I had to do on it, but not a bad opal, hopefully in the long run. Alright. Oh yeah, we'll do this one. I'm being curious. Got a green bar sitting at the bottom, and I want to know what that green bar actually represents. That doesn't look like a fatal sand concentration. Nor does that. Two birds, one stone here. Just slicing it so that I could see what's going on. tiny little fragment came off. I think it came off this one and one of the other opals that I've been doing, just to give me a little bit of hope in humanity, I think. Beautiful little fragment. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. That's going in with the priority opals. That's just such a great stone. Oh, glad something went right. Where did it come from? I don't know. Okay, so that was the source of all of the banding in this particular opal here. Not even worth it, not heavy enough. So, there is one other thing about this opal though. There was some hint of red at the top, so I think I'll just give it a quick look over. In case you're wondering, it was a bit of sand. I thought I may as well cut a huge chunk. So I think that if there's going to be red, it's going to face this way, just from what it was doing before. Of course, it is kind of a super rare sunflash at the moment, so we'll see what happens. I'll tell you what. I genuinely thought I had a nice selection of these opals. What I might have to do is just go to the... Yeah. Depends on whether you apologise to the Americans or not.
Sorry, Americans.
Did you hear that totally unprompted and unforced apology from my daughter? She said some nasty things last night. It's alright, darling. Off you go. Hello, Jackson. How you doing? Yeah, shark eggs are leathery, you're right. I think Jackson's Australian. I could be wrong.
I like whoever's J for genius.
Oh, yeah. She's also very lucky.
Isn't it spelled with a G? Wait. Am I?
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just... Sorry, I don't know if I'm getting it wrong or not.
No, you're getting it right. It's supposed to be spelled with a G. That's the whole hook.
Okay, yeah. I'm just double checking because I don't know if I'm spelling it. Probably.
So my daughter, she's on the top of the curve. She's very special, yeah. She goes to school, she gets straight A's all the time. If not, I beat her to a pulp. Yeah. And then I blame the teachers. that did nothing. Alright. Next. I think I'm going to declare all of the opals that I've so far... Let's do this one. Oh, far out. Let's do this one, see what happens. So far, what I've managed to do is create a murder scene at the back of the opal cutting area. Yeah, the weather did that. Well, eventually, yes. Now I'm holding several conversations, one with my daughter. So Jackson is back. Jackson is back. Made a new song about Jackson is back. I sure hope this is good. Be good because that's the only piece of colour there. So yes, colourful. Also yes, not very much of it. Don't think we've got... Man, this has been a bit of a... It's been a bit of a windswept, non-productive. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull out all the stops. I'm going to go into my high quality opal area and I am going to have a look at what we've got. And everyone better watch out because there'll be amazing opal about to burst forth into the area and get cut as great opal with greatness. Alright. No hold barred, no beg your pardons. Let's grab that. And we're going to go out and make sure at least we've got a bit of colour in them. That one, this one for sure. Right. Excuse me for 5 seconds whilst I make sure that I've got colourful opal here. Colour confirmed. 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 No colour there. Colour confirmed. Epic colour confirmed. Colour confirmed. Colour confirmed. Colour confirmed. More colour, more confirmed. Colour confirmed. Colour, 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 colour confirmed. Colour, 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 colour chameleon. You are confirmed. You are confirmed. You're gonna make a pretty opal for someone now. Right. That's it. We're not taking prisoners anymore, guys. Goodbye, useless opals. And hello, hopefully not so useless opals. So, this guy here, meet him. He's Tom. He weighs in at 400 pounds. And he's going to rock your world. This guy here is grey but colourful. And he is going to delight. This is a lovely lady here who's got nothing but subtlety and flair. And a bar that is amazing. And a colour bar as well. Alright. This one here is Susie the Kid. She has got nothing but bright things to say. Soft, subtle, and awesome. Surely one of these guys is going to do it, okay? Because taking out all the stops, we're going to do this guy first. Surely, have a look at this. See that flash? Surely some of that is going to make it into the Opal. Gee. That's right, Opals. You won't like it when I'm angry. In case you're wondering why I asked my younger daughter to apologise to the Americans, if you see the last thing that's said in the previous live stream, I don't know if it even made it on, but I'm like, why would you do a thing like that? And that's why I made her apologise. So I'm going to have to cut it here. It doesn't matter too much because that's all I wanted really. I'll face it to that side because it's the best one. There you go, I'll pop that on the chopstick like that. Come on. There we go. Presuming it makes it to the top stick, of course. A few of those little accidents today. There we go. That's going into the priority queue. Yay, finally. Right, which one shall I do? I think I'll do this one because this one's quite possibly the most spectacular in waiting. It might not end up that way, but it certainly has got potential. So let's give it a shot. Right off the bat, I'm thinking this is going to make two opals. One really thin one and one really not so thin one. So all is going according to plan at the moment, which is good. So I'm starting to get sick of their attitude. Had to pull out some stops. Okay, that's better. Look at that. Right. I'll cut it about there. That will give the opal enough room to shine if it wants to. And I would have had to have done something drastic to this opal anyway, so that's okay. Which way you're facing it. Yep, that'll do. Now let's try and make this as logical as possible. To make that face as parallel as possible, so that corner's on. Oi. Right, how are we going for, okay, we need to get your corner sorted out. Better. How about you? Better. Better. Yeah, better. Good. That's about what I need, so let's just bring the corners in, and then it's just dopping material then. Come on. Do it. There you go. You're getting something. It's better than that, but you know, these opals are refusing to play ball today, so we'll have to just keep that as, you know, best we can do. It isn't the best we can do, opals. It's just you're being a little... Okay. That's interesting, isn't it? Let's just move this over here and then move that back. There we go, that's probably good. Now this opal here got some flash already on it, so that should be... I'm not going to say slam dunk at the moment because there is nothing slam dunky about what I've been dealing with today. Literally slicing the face sand off, and you'll see why in a minute. Here's why. The sand was just in that spot there, in this little pocket, making my day hard. After all that, I don't think this side would be the side I'm facing up. Have a look over here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It suddenly occurred to me that after all my complaining, I've suddenly got myself a monster on my hands. Look at that colour for the cast off. This is so good, it looks like a fake opal. Well, that is, ladies and gentlemen, that is spectacular. That is unbelievable. That is that. Oh, that's so good. that the note I finished the cutting on, or do I do one more? I don't know. That's a bit of a wow. That's like 2 to 3 carats at the moment. Not a bad little rock. Not by a long shot. At a guess, at a pinch, I'd say at least $200 for this guy. Probably more. So there you go. Not a bad little rock. I'm really happy with that one. Let's just do one more. That one's going onto the priority list. Might even do it tonight. What else have we got? We'll do... That's just an offcut. What are you? Oh, that's the other offcut. I'll just quickly do you up. The weird thing is this tiny little offcut actually outshines most of the other opal I've done today. There you go, got that one done. All right, beautiful. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah. Out a bit so you can see from here. That's just surplus opal. Surplus requirements of just trying to straighten out the back before we even begin, because it was quite angular. It's into. Nice little drop. It's a bit clear, but it's not too bad. Nice colour. All right. I think that's me done. I am absolutely exhausted from all that. Oh dear. There's that little piece here. Hang on. No, that's not going to do anything. All right. Just having a quick look around. What else is here? Oh, that little grey one. Where's that little grey one gone? I know what I'm talking about. Oh, why not? Let's do this one. When I think daylight savings, my mind goes positively 1950s. What's wrong, boy? I wonder. Holy Batman! The bat signal has been activated. Da, 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 da. Whoosh. Hello, it's Superman here. What seems to be the problem? Help save me! Oh, it's Daylight's the lady. Let's go save her. Yeah, I'm done with that joke now. Right, there we go. Another opal done. Ta-da! All right. Do not turn off your set just yet. We're going to go in and have a chat to the birds. That's right, the birds. Yoink. Ugh. That's the sound of my legs. I need to get a drink. Oh, you go here. Yabba dabba doo. Yabba dabba doo. All right, here we go. Now, this time for sure. Hello, Lucky. Ah. Sorry, I was just drinking and showing you a bird at the same time, which sounds a bit rude. Hello, Loki. Yoink. What's that we got here? Now, Max, do you want to get in on this action? And go feed the fish. This is a two-handed job too. How do we do this? Flip it around. Try and put this over onto the thing whilst I do it. Yeah, because I've got this. It's basically a pepper shaker with fish food in it. There you go, that was my father's idea. right, flip around. Fishies are happy. Happy fishies. Hello, 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 hello. No, 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 no. All right. I'll be cleaning out these cages when I finish the live stream because they're getting a bit feral. Let's have a look at your... Have you got pin feathers, my dear? Okay. All right, Max, I can hear. Right. Would you like to come out here, my darling Max? No? Do you want to come in? A scratch? Nearly done, doll.
Hello, Loki. Hello. Are you frightened by something? Have you listened to Loki?
Yeah. What?
Have you listened to Loki? She looks frightened.
Yeah. Whoop. Sorry about that. Great shot of my armpit. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these birds out. Let them have a bit of a fly around, and I'll show you something that I've been doing whilst everything else has been going on. So people have been talking about fossils, right? These have been from the Newcastle area, and I'm going to mount them onto some timber frames. Now they're not scientifically mounted fossils. They're kind of just... Well, I've glossed them up. And all I needed to do to gloss them up a bit was to use just a bit of PVC. This one hasn't quite dried yet. But that just gives them a nice glossy coat. And it also means that they survive. I'm sure that a paleontologist would not be happy to get a fossil in this condition. But having said that, these fossils easily degenerate. So as you can see, that's just you can see the leaf stem. I can happily run my finger on it. It's not going to cause any problem. The carbon has been locked in. This one's an interesting one in its own right because there's a leaf on one side and there's a bark imprint on the other. Of course, it snapped, and that was a part... This one here was a part of that one, and it was a part of a larger one which I've been doing over here. If we want to have a look over here. From memory, this is the one. So put that together with that, and then put this in here. That little piece of stuff is very important to the thing. I'm just trying to remember how it all goes back together. It's quite frustrating, actually. You think you remember, and then you realise you don't. Is that it?
Still hasn't gone out of his cage. Come on, get out.
No, come on. You can do this, Phil. Try and put this in. Must be that side. Yeah, I think it's that side. There we go. That side like that, and then this one goes on like so. There we go. Sorry, I'm concentrating on getting the fossil on, so it's not... There we go. There we go. That's my daughter who will be apologising again. There we go. Perfect. So that's a little... There's a little bit of glue that's still drying, the PVC. But you can see there that that's a leaf there, Glossopteris leaf. And there's the stems of the Glossopteris, and you can see stem structures there. It's quite a nice piece, to be honest. Over here we've got another one. I'll show that to you. I haven't done anything to that one yet. I haven't tested, because this is a slightly different material. It's still quite shaly, but there's an awful lot more sandstone sitting in there. But if you pick this guy up, hopefully, there we are. Nice leaf imprint right there. So that one's pretty cool. And of course you've got the other side of that. And so the quandary that you have here when you're looking at a massive chunk of fossil like this is there's clearly other stuff in here. And how do you get this other stuff out? And clearly there is more of that leaf. There's more of that leaf sitting underneath there. I've done enough fossils to know that it's not just a case of whack it with a hammer, because generally speaking, that's not going to get you the result you want. So I'm leaving it until I've thought of a better way to preserve it. But what I think this one should, in some way, shape or form, just respond to ordinary superglue. That should preserve it, but I will test it on a small section first. As a matter of fact, we may as well test it now. Let's flip this over. See what it does. That looks like stuff I've already done. So what will this do to it? If it works, all well and good. I think that brings out the contrast quite well. So I think we're okay. So I'll go off to the shops and I'll grab a whole heap of super glue. The thing I'm concerned about is whether the carbon actually mixes with stuff, and there's always something different with each rock. Is that even going to... Yeah, this is the layered section. But I think that's going to work. So yeah, super glue for this one, super glue for that one, PVC for that one, PVC for these. So just horses for courses, as you can see. I'll show you the Glossopteris leaf here, because this is one I actually reconstructed, and it's turned out okay. You can see the leaf just in there. You can see another leaf sitting there. And all I'm planning on doing is getting some kind of stand and having it to just stand up like that. I've got a few that I've already done. I'll give you an example. Over here at my workstation. There's one that I've done. Just simply gotten 2 hole saws, cut a ring. And this has been done for this one as well. That's just a piece of ironstone. So that's good. And over here I've got another thing that I've stabilized already with super glue, except it didn't work out quite as well. I tried to chip the leaf off. That's why I know that you can't just chip it and hope for the best, because sometimes stuff happens. So at any rate, that's that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go take us over to the birds. And I think that's the end of the show today. So goodbye, Pony. Say goodbye to your horrible cage bottom, because I'm going to give you a new cage bottom. Yeah. There you are. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me for this wonderful odyssey that we had. If you enjoyed what you saw, just like and subscribe on your way out. It helps us a lot. Other than that, have a great long weekend.
Loki wants to get in there.
Oh, hang on, Loki wants to get...
say goodbye.
You want to say goodbye, Loki?
Oh, she's shy now.
Too shy. All right. Max, do you want to say goodbye?
You want to have a scratch, Max?
All right. Well, we're now going to say goodbye. Hooroo, guys. Have a lovely day. Dr. Phil out.